Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Fola. If this is your first time stopping by, you're welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by again. I haven't been here in a while, but that doesn't matter. I'm here now, okay? Today I'm going to be talking about buying my first car in Canada. I know someone asked me that question, but I haven't gotten around to answering it, but I'm doing it now. So today I'm going to be talking about getting my license. I'm not really going deep into getting my license. Maybe that's going to be another video, but I'm going to talk about getting my license, financing a car, insurance, interest rates, price. I don't have the exact numbers, but I'm going to try to have as much detail that I can give in this video. If you're interested in knowing more about this, stay tuned and we're going to get right into the video.
When I walk into the kitchen, you saw the look on my face, you saw the look on my hat.
So a little bit of background information before I decided to buy my car. I got my license in June 2019. That's my 5N, my 5 new license. I learned how to drive in Canada, so I went through the learner's process and then getting a 5N license after I passed my driving test. See, I'm gonna make another video for that. And then I started a new job in August of 2019. This job was in Dartmouth. If you live in Halifax, you know where Dartmouth is, but Dartmouth is like just a bridge across from Halifax. It's not so far. If you're driving to Dartmouth, it's about maybe maximum 20 minutes drive. But if you're going with the bus, oh my god, it's the ghetto. You would need to take like 2-3 buses depending on where you're going to in Dartmouth. So I started a job in August of 2019 and it was in Dartmouth, and it was not sustainable taking the bus to Dartmouth, especially because I was working a shift job, so I didn't have a consistent schedule. My schedule changes every day, and it's kind of difficult to take the bus when you have to leave your house at different times. So I decided that I was gonna get a car in January of 2020. So I went to the dealership. I decided that I wanted to get a Hyundai. I love Hyundai. I don't know, a lot of people like Toyota, Honda, and all of that. I personally find Toyota very boring. I just find them as a boring car, even though my parents really wanted me to get Toyota, but I decided to get Hyundai. So I went to the Hyundai dealership. I kind of had an idea of what I liked. I didn't know what car I wanted at that point, but I had an idea of how much I was going to spend. I knew I didn't want to spend up $20,000 on my first car because, man, I'm broke. I don't have $20,000, but I knew I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I went to the dealership. I saw a car that I liked. It was beautiful. It's tiny. You already know, I mean, I've said it a lot of times. I like tiny things, tiny cars, tiny products. Yeah, I kind of like small things like that. So I found a nice car, small. I think it was about, now I don't have the exact numbers because it's been about 2 years now, but the car was about, if I remember correctly, it was about maybe 11,000 or 10,500. It was around that range. So the car was like between $10,500 to $11,000, and that is before tax. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound bad. 11,000 on a pretty decent car. I mean, it had leather seat, the moonroof. It was pretty decent. I'm like, that's not bad. And then we talked with the dealership. I went with my friend. I didn't go alone because I felt like I was gonna get scammed. I went with my male friend. And then like, okay, $11,000. What else do we need? We need dealership fees. We need tax. I live in Nova Scotia, Halifax to be precise, and it's 15% tax on whatever you're buying. If you're buying a pencil, you're paying 15% tax on that. So everything at the end of the day came up to like maybe $13,000 with tax. I also got winter tires. We negotiated some things. I was able to get what I think is a good deal with my car and my tax, the dealership fees, winter tires with the rim for about, let's say, maybe $13,500. I don't really remember now. I have $13,500 cash to pay, so I had to decide on financing my car. And if you don't live in Canada or you don't know what financing means, financing basically means that you will choose your term of financing anywhere from 24 months, 36 months, 48 months, 60, 72. I think it's a maximum of 84 to 96, maybe 7 years or 8 years. And then that would determine how much you're going to pay in a month. And also, because you're not buying the car outright, the bank is borrowing you money, so you have to pay an interest rate. So it was basically time to choose my term of financing, how much I had as down payment and all of that. So I decided that I wanted to drop $4,000 as down payment. That was the maximum I wanted to do at that time. I mean, I just felt like 4,000 was the good deal for me. So I told the dealership I had $4,000 down payment, and they should give me what my payment is gonna be from 36 months to 72 months. So they should let me know what I'll pay if I was going 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and 6 years. I just wanted to see the options that I had and which one was going to work for me. Now, I need to know that I'm a little bit good with money. I consider myself a very prudent person and a very financially educated person. I am actually thinking of starting a financial, personal finance series on my YouTube channel, and I think I'm gonna do it. So they gave me the terms and how much it's gonna be. My interest rate was gonna be 6.89, and that's because it's a used car. Usually new cars have lower interest rates, but I wasn't even bugging because my friend had bought a car like a couple of weeks before me, and it got the same interest rate. And I know that usually on used cars the interest rate is between 4%. On an average on used cars the interest rate is between 4% and 8%. Some people get 14% depending on what your credit is. I have pretty good credit, so I thought at that point 6.89 wasn't that much of a bad deal. So they gave me what it was gonna be across 36 months to 72 months, and I finally settled on doing 60 months, which is 5 years. And I'm gonna tell you why I decided to do this. So my monthly payment, if I was to do 60 months, came up to about $190, I think, and that is monthly. When you're buying a car in Canada, there's the option to do weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. I don't subscribe to paying anything weekly or paying anything bi-weekly. I just don't think I would do well with that. I like monthly, once a month, and I'm done with it. So I told them I wanted the monthly option, and they told me it was going to be about $190 for 60 months. That's for 5 years. I would end up paying $190 every month for 5 years. At that point, it wasn't so bad. I mean, this bank, they're lending me money. I don't have money. I will take it. So I ended up going for 60 months. And like I was gonna say, the reason I went for 60 months is because $190 at that point in my life felt like, okay, if I lost my job today, I can pay $190 for 6 months if it takes me 6 months to find another job. I could totally have gone for 3 years and I would be fine. I'll pay my car off in 3 years. But I wanted to make sure that I am actually going for the lowest I can afford to pay in a month. Maybe that isn't the best decision because it meant that I'll be paying more interest, but I did not mind. And another thing that let me go for it is that they told me that if I make extra payments, it goes towards my principal and not the interest. For example, my loan ended up being around $10,000. When they take off that $190 in a month, usually my bill is supposed to go down by 190, right? Let's talk about $10,000 minus 190. So after the first month, my remaining loan is supposed to be 9,810, right? No, that is not what it is because they take off interest from my monthly payment. So it ends up being maybe $9,850 because they took off interest from there. So I'm still owing more even though I'm paying 190. But if I pay more towards the principal in the example that, okay, if my loan is $10,000 and I just out of my own pocket, not my automatic withdrawal from my bank that I gave to them, out of my own pocket, if I pay $200 to my loan ends up being 9,800. They don't pick any interest from that. So they told me that that was an option. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. So that means the earlier I paid off, the less interest I pay. So I decided to go for 5 years because it just made sense at that point. I can afford $190 at least for another 1 year without having any problem. Without them having to possess my car or anything, I am good. I told them I had the $4,000. I didn't give it to them that day. I told them I had $4,000. They said they were gonna make sure that they were gonna do all of the paperwork and everything. I think we met up with them on a Thursday, and then we're supposed to pick up the car on a Monday or Tuesday, and we can sign the paperwork on that Tuesday and get my car and get going, right? But then before I can pick up the car, I need insurance. that one is sorted. I already had an idea of what my monthly payment is gonna be. I have the car in mind. I have everything. If I remember well, I think I gave them $500 because I wanted them to just keep the car for me. That's like, oh yeah, I'm committed to buying this car. We're not gonna show it to somebody else. Take $500. So that makes sense. That was sorted. It was time to shop for insurance. That felt like the hardest part of getting a new car. I didn't have any driving experience. It was my first insurance in Canada. Everybody and their mothers that I spoke to wanted to get 1 year worth of insurance money for me. That's not a problem. It's gonna come up to maybe 2,300, but I don't have $2,300 to give to you. Put me on a monthly plan. Heck, I can pay quarterly. I can't pay annually. If I put that, I'm not gonna have any emergency fund on me anymore. But they insisted, no, we're gonna give you annual. You don't have driving experience. We want to make sure that we have our money with us and all of that. I'm just like, okay. The first company I called was City Insurance because I had someone who worked there, and they said it was gonna cost me 200 and something dollars, and I thought, okay. And this 200 and something dollars was with my Mount St. Vincent University alumni discount, and the fact that I went through driving school to get my license, and I thought I could shop for cheaper ones. Yes, I actually saw cheaper ones. I think I saw Aviva for like maybe 180, but they wanted it for 1 year. So I ended up settling for TD Insurance. It was $215 per month. And then I told them to sign me up, give them my car details, all of that. And then on a Tuesday, the dealership had already cleaned up my car. They already washed it off. My car was sparkling. The leather seat was sweet. Everything felt good. They did the motor vehicle inspection. Everything was good. And then so I went in with my cash. I miss my money now. I went in with my cash. I gave them the $4,000. We signed the document. I already budgeted, okay, every month $190 comes out of my account, $215 comes out of my account. That's a lot of money. So that's about $405 per month to have a car. That's minus gas. But I was so happy at that point because that meant that I wasn't taking the bus anymore. I didn't have to wake up 2 hours before work anymore. I could literally just wake up and drive to my office and then get to my office in 15 minutes. Same thing when coming back. So I had time on my hand. Like, I was happy I had time. It just, see, when I was coming to Canada, one thing my brother's friend said to me was like, a car is not a luxury in Canada, it's a necessity. If you've not had a car in Canada, you would think you don't really need a car. But once you've had a car, you realize that, man, how did I survive without not having a car? A car is a necessity here, especially with the weather and all of that stuff. You need it, but only if you can afford it. I got my car, about everything ended up being about $14,500 or $14,000. I went into a loan of about $10,000. I dropped $4,000 down payment, 6.89% interest rate, $215 insurance. Every year my insurance goes down as long as I didn't have any accident. So my insurance reduced by a year. So let's talk about it. I'm sure a lot of people will say, why did it go so you are still owing? How can you owe for 5 years? The car is not yours. I ended up paying off my car in 20 months. I mean, I got a loan for 60 months. I ended up paying it off in 20 months. And that was my plan all along. My plan all along was to delegate extra money into paying off my loan, but also protect myself in the case of emergency, that I don't have to overextend and start begging for money to pay my car loan, if you get me. Like, if I work and I have extra money, which I usually do, because my car loan is so small, I have very little expenses, I will put it towards my car loan. But also, in a situation, for example, where I quit my job in 2021, I didn't have to do too much. I didn't have to beg for money because my car loan was literally $190 that I could afford to pay. So I bought my car in January of 2020, and I ended up paying off in August last year. Last year, August, I was just like, what do I want for my birthday? I was gonna buy myself maybe a designer stuff. I'm like, nope. I'm just gonna pay off my car. And I just took a bunch of money from my savings to kind of like pay it off. That's done. So I ended up paying off the car in 20 months, even though my loan was for 60 months. So that is it. Is there any other thing you would like me to talk about regarding this car? I don't think so. But yeah, that's basically it. Is there anything that I regret or anything that I feel like I learned from buying this car? I'll say that No, I like them. Maybe next time I would not buy a used car. I personally don't think used cars are for me. I don't believe in used cars. I don't like cars that much to want to change them every time. So I like to have a car that I can keep for years, maybe. Because, yeah, also, cars are very expensive. See, if you watch my video last year that I had to fix my car for about $7,000, you have to budget money to do things. You have to budget money to fix your car, to do oil change, to change your tires, winter tires to all seasons to winter. It's about $170 to get your driver's permit. Yeah, and plate number, you have to budget money for that. When I went to the dealership, I got a temporary plate number that I had to change within 30 days, and that cost me about $170. So the best way to do this is that every month is good to delegate a little bit of money towards car emergencies that come up. That's the only way that has worked for me. So every month, if it's $100, $200, just keep it on the side for your car, because you won't know when your car would happen. For me, everything happened at the same time. My brakes got weak at the same time. My something else happened. Like everything just happened all at once, and I'm like, why? Why not wait? Why not just be January and another one in August? Why did everything happen in the same month? So cars are crazy. You need to delegate money for it. And another note says, when it's not working for you, learn to quit. Like if your car is not working for you anymore, it's probably time to just quit it and maybe get a new one or decide on the next step you want to do. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any question regarding buying a car in Canada, if I know the answers, I'm going to share it. Leave it in the comment section. But if you don't have any questions, that's okay. That's good. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Okay, see you. Bye.